What's up? You are tuned into Rappers Playing Games, aka RPG. Today's guest is Chucky BLK.
Hey!
And we are going to be playing Tekken 3 for PS1.
Pure gold. Classic right here.
Okay. There's Yoshimitsu.
Yoshimitsu.
God, I remember seeing this when I first got this game as a kid. And I had been reading previews of it for a year.
Yeah.
And I was so stoked. And then it starts with this, and you're like, this is the best. Let's start with some good old verses.
Classic verse. It might take a second here to.
Oh, me too. So you work at Pat's Games in town.
Yeah.
You were talking about Magic cards earlier. I have a lot of friends who are getting into Magic for the first time. This seems to be a renaissance. Our Magic Renaissance happening.
Yeah, it's super odd because I feel like Magic the Gathering's been around since 92, 93 maybe, and so a lot of people now getting money, born around that time or who've played it.
Yeah.
Or especially here in Austin, and it's young money, so disposable income is everything,
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's ridiculous. It's cool. I love it. I mean, I got into it a long time ago just because I love the sort of high fantasy, the kind of escapism you can find in that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god. I actively played Dungeons and Dragons in my life. I've always loved the Tolkien series, even though they can't have any black people for some reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's mostly I think I come into it from a more sci-fi perspective. So I grew up on the Outer Limits and stuff like that. But it's no. But it's it gives you a format to deal with bigger issues. You know what I mean? I feel these metaphors that happen in our regular life that you can't really digest in a regular life. But you're oh, this alien species doesn't like this other alien species. How do we work this out? Rather than saying black and white and people getting personal. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh God.
Brian. Hey everyone, I'm Brian.
I have a neck tag, eye scar.
I loved his Street Magic special.
Yeah, right. He's punched you into oblivion. No, that's pretty.
Julia's great. Julia kind of reminds me of Ta Lim and her playstyle from Soul Calibur.
I'm always she's probably the black bloc or feminist or something like that. Just putting fire bombs to capitalism.
That's what she does when she's not winning the Iron Fist tournament.
Exactly.
Well, speaking of revolutionary art, this is my clumsy segue. I first met you at the Austin Poetry Slam.
Yeah.
Back when I was there for AMX, and we shared a night with Austin Poetry Slam. And I know that you just put out a record. I'm just curious as to your story because I definitely have known you since I met you at the Slam, and then saw you getting up on stage and doing songs and stuff, and kind of making that transition.
Yeah, no, I mean, I always had a love for just spoken word and music. I remember my dad's a pastor, so I grew up with watching public speaking. Grew up with public speaking, so it's always been a passion of mine. I think when I was in high school, I guess when I first got into slam poetry, that's when I started to think about the world more critically and what it means to be black. And at least to me, and hip hop was definitely and poetry the more pivotal things into that discovery. So it's called. I've been able to luckily with poetry, been able to go to Berkeley and Chicago to perform, as well as I've been all over the place via poetry to perform. So it's always been a blessing. I think it's kind of a weird transition, not even a weird. It's something I've always done, freestyling. I feel when the AMX came out to the scene, I was freestyling out there when all the poets were going home, Really,
right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You were out there would be cipher circles of all these rappers waiting for the doors to open, and you would get out, and I would see all these poets exiting, and you would just walk over to a freestyle circle.
Right.
Okay, can we just appreciate this for?
Right. Yeah, no. So for me, the EP was it first started off honestly. It's just me and an old high school buddy, his name is Luke Cox. He's with a group called Soul Food Horns, who like produce a lot of like hip hop tracks and like different stuff like that. We would just get together every Monday and like just make a song. You know, that's all. And then they started to turn out pretty good, and so we were like, let's actually do this on like a real level, you know. So we what you call it. It was like a long process, but I think what it all represents is it's kind of like, it's called a prequel too. It's just like, I called it that just because I wanted to have an excuse or some sort of like outside pressure to make another one, you know. But it's kind of like a brief step into my mind, you know, into like the mind of like where like I think a lot of my kind of like black artistry comes from, especially for me, you know. I started the album off with like a weird like kind of like symbolic poem going on in the beginning with like weird metaphors going on, but then the rap is just very much like I deal with existential angst of like not being religious and like not knowing what to think about dying and stuff like that, and goes into like tracks what I think about art, you know, what I think about police brutality, you know, and kind of like ending in this ode called Black Gold, just for my family, you know, about how much like what they mean to me and like what I think what black people specifically can do in the face of like things that tell them they're not supposed to exist. You know what I mean?
That's amazing.
And so that's my goal. That was my main goal for that. Just like just bring this kind of like this, start on a high, dip in this valley, and try to end at some sort of point where you can walk away feeling kind of good about yourself. I think, you know what I mean? Don't ever want to like. Have a project just be a compilation of songs. Because like, you know, I think the albums that I look at that I enjoy, that I think are monumental, I think of like Kendrick Lamar's projects, you know, which are very much have themes. Like they are these like conceptual albums, but that just don't like just rely on it. You know what I mean? It's an honest evaluation of the story that needs to be conveyed. I guess I think that's what good art is. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I think it's very valid to just make a banger every once in a while.
Yeah, I know.
You know, but I'm not that banger with purpose. You know what I mean?
Yes.
One of the things I kind of struggle with, how to just make enjoyable music. I think without having these deeper implications as well. You know, I think I'm trying to strike a balance of that. I think that's where I'm at. Because as much as I think that one of the reasons why I left poetry was I felt very stagnant within my writing. I wasn't able to talk about anything but despair. You know what I mean? And I want to write a song about Magic the Gathering. I want to write a song about being a wizard that, like, you know, discovered necromancy, but I'm a good guy. You know what I mean? You know, it's like I wanted people to try to do that stuff in music. You know? I
love that.
Yeah.
You just did a video for one of those songs, right?
Yeah.
What was shooting the video like?
That was interesting. It was was able to, luckily enough, to be managed by a girl named Lauren Trahan. She just recently moved up to LA, but we were like, let's shoot a music video for the project 3 weeks before I leave. So we had to like put together this whole music video. I luckily had my lovely, wonderful, beautiful girlfriend Victoria Prescott direct and a lot of times produce a lot of it. We basically like put a call out for all like a bunch of like just black creatives here in Austin, like whether it be visual arts, whether it be like entrepreneurship, you know. But yeah, you know, we essentially just got a bunch of black people and painted them gold. And then also follow this like weird journey of me like stumbling through beginner. Let's do it. Stumbling through like iconic like black spot locations here in Austin. So we stopped at the mural on 12th and Chacuan. We went to the what's called
So this is the volleyball mini game, and if you land a hit, it causes me damage. That's how it works. That Chris Rogers did. Yeah,
Chris Rogers, and it was awesome because he was able to show up for the music video as well, which was I was blown away because like to me that mural, the first and second, were both so iconic, you know. I really want to release within this like next year, like fall, springtime, release a series of singles.
Nice.
I've been kind of thinking about this, like, kind of like a small like 2-song, 3-song little project around the theme of like some sort of emotion. But that's like still something very, very, very premature right now in thoughts. You know, I think right now I'm just trying to get used to playing in front of crowds more. I think it's different than doing poetry, but
it's a different kind of crowd too.
It's a different kind of crowd. People are quiet, quiet and attentive when you're reading poetry.
Mm-hmm.
Rap stars on the phones, smoking cigarettes. You know.
Yeah.
It's just, anything can happen. You know.
So you're gonna, I mean, continue to play shows, poetry shows, releasing songs.
Yeah.
Man, it's so awesome. Just having known you for a while and like seeing your artistic output, I get really excited when I see you doing anything.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I feel like I vividly remember this moment. I think it was it was one after one of the poetry things where I had rapped on stage for the cipher. I think you and the other guy, I think it was Nate, correct?
Oh yeah.
He came up to me and was just like, "Man, you're dope. I love your voice. Like, you should really consider doing this for real." And like, it's like small bits of encouragement like that really I feel like when I'm down on myself and not quite sure what I want to, if I want to continue to do that shit drives me. You know what I mean?
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it's important for everyone to hear.
Yeah.
It's always so easy to be your own worst enemy.
It's so easy. I was up until like 5 a.m. like this morning with a homie making music, and like
nice.
It felt so productive. Like I feel like I've never got that sort of feeling like being within like a class or anything space like that. You know.
Hell yeah. I call that being the good kind of tired.
Yeah, exactly. I still picked up a rug at like 10 a.m. this morning. It's beautiful. It worked out.
You got a rug for your home studio, right?
For a home studio, so
it all plays in.
Yeah. You can learn anything from YouTube. That's what I'm learning more and more. I was like, I don't want to record.
Including, gentle viewers, that there's a volleyball mode to Tekken 3.
Hey, volleyball mode, come on.
Is there any final words that you wanna say?
I just want to say, everybody who's listening, you're beautiful and perfect. Society will tell you you're ugly, but no person is ugly. Only bad actions. So shut up. Thank you.
Thanks, dude.
Hey, thank you so much.
Thanks for coming on.
Follow Chucky BLK on all platforms. Chucky.blk. So thank you.
In the description.
Subscribe and we'll give you a free pack of magic cards. I'm just kidding. I can't say that.
Said we never gonna be shit. Said we never gonna